Hello, it's Karen Knott from Primetime Business and welcome to Take 10. Getting things done 10 minutes at a time, simple, practical strategies that you can implement in bite-sized segments. Now, today's Take 10, we're going to be looking at exactly how someone who starts off over here as a complete stranger becomes a paying client and customer. Now, as I'm sure you're only too well aware, this whole process is not a straight line from A to B, would that it were, but it's often much more of a winding journey where your potential client starts off as a complete stranger with some sort of need, problem or desire, who then becomes vaguely interested in you and the service or product you offer. And if they like what they see or hear, then perhaps they stick around to get to know a little bit more about you, and their interest increases and so on until they become confident enough to buy what you have to offer. And in essence, this whole sort of customer journey is about building relationships. Now, there are two parts to this particular Take 10, which I guess makes it more of a Take 20. But anyway, the first part is to map out your client's journey by literally walking through the whole process as if you were one of your potential clients, because it's only when you put yourself in your customer's shoes at every step along that journey can you understand whether you're actually delivering the experience your customers want, and whether you are actually building relationships, or whether there are gaps in which they can just completely lose interest and disappear because there's nothing there to support, educate, inform, or inspire, or whatever it is they're looking for at that particular phase of their journey. And by mapping out the path they take to get to you, you'll then be able to identify what and where the gaps are and easily see where you need to put something in place to meet them where they are at that time, to gently carry them through to the next stage of interest along this journey of theirs to becoming one of your paying clients. Now, in order to keep it simple, I suggest you start by looking at 4 stages of the buying journey. The first, of course, starting off as strangers. And this is all about looking at what happens before they know anything about you. You know, what are the triggers or the catalyst that starts them off on their journey? What are they looking for? What are they searching for? How do they research? And how do they start exploring their options? The second stage in the process is the discovery stage. This is where you, your business, your product, your service first appears on their radar. You know, remember, they're in browsing mode. They're vaguely interested in you at this stage. How do they hear? How do they find you? You know, are they browsing online and happen upon you, or are they actively looking for a solution to their problem? What's going on at that particular point in their journey? What are the sort of the touch points or the interactions they have with you which pique their interest? Which leads us on to the third stage in the journey, which is the one where they become actively interested. Now, at this stage, they're starting to regard you as someone who can help. They're seriously evaluating you. They're attracted to you and your offering, and they're starting to see you as a potential solution to their problem. So this is where they start interacting with you more regularly to find out more, and in doing so, you build up credibility and trust. And of course, which leads to the final stage, which is the customer stage. This is where they're ready to buy, and this is where they look at the various options and make their decisions about what it is they actually want to purchase. So my preferred method for this particular part of the Take 10 are these, my dear trusty post-it notes. So like I say, start with the stranger stage and ask yourself what's going on for you as the client. Remember, you're walking through this first off as one of your clients. What's going on for you at this particular stage? And when you've done that for all 4 stages, you can then go through the whole process again. This is the second part of the Take 10. And this time, go through it as a business owner and ask 2 questions. The first being, how can I meet them at this point in their journey? This is where you start looking at, what it is you can offer, do, or provide for them. And the second question to ask is, how can I smoothly and gently guide their interest forward through to the next stage? So let me just sort of take, let's use the discovery stage as an example. Now, having walked through the process once as a client, you'll know exactly what they're looking for at this particular stage. For me, I always think of the discovery stage. It's a bit like when you first enter a shop and you're at that sort of just browsing stage. And the last thing you want, or the last thing I want when I'm in that stage, is for someone swooping down on me when I'm just not ready to buy it. So ask yourself the question, how can I meet them at this point in their journey? What can I offer or provide or do? Think about how you can guide their interest forward. What can you offer that will connect and engage them so that you stay on their radar and they don't click away never to return and they don't walk out of the shop? Now, it may be appropriate for you to decide at this stage to give something away as a way of capturing their vague interest so that you can then start building a relationship with them. Offering your potential client something valuable like a free report, an ebook, a video series, or a voucher in return for their email address is a perfect example, because as well as providing them, your customers, with something of use and interest, you can also smoothly and gently guide their interest forward through to the next stage of their journey, the actively interested stage, where they're on your email list so that you can offer regular content like a blog or a newsletter, which gives them something of continuing value, and in doing so builds up credibility and trust, and where over time you can then move them along towards eventually and hopefully becoming a paying client. Now there's a worksheet below to help you go through this process, so it's over to you now, and I'll see you again on the next Take 10. Bye for now.